style of wire wrapping. Now what we're gonna do is wire wrap a stone that is hung straight from the chain, not strung next to anything else. So you can get a better view of it. Let me just raise this one charm. Okay, so there you go. We're gonna wire wrap a stone like this now. So I'm going to use, instead of a piece of wire this time, I'm going to use what's called a head pin. So this is essentially wire that has been, as you can see right there, a little tiny ball formed on the end so that it doesn't go all the way through your stone. This is a great end piece, or if you're having something dangling down, so that way you don't have just like another open loop on the bottom. So now I'm going to take my Herkimer little crystal and I'm passing it through. Okay, so you can see the stone and then the little ball on the bottom. Sometimes these come flat heads, sometimes they come with little decorations on the bottom. You can find a variety of them online. So now what we're going to do is take our round nose pliers again. And we're basically doing the same exact thing as before, just doing it once. So I'm going to take the wire and I'm going to bend it over to one side. And then I'm going to grab my flat head pliers. Okay, because it's a tiny space and because it's a tiny little stone and gauge, what I'm going to do is use my smaller flat heads. Okay, and I'm going around and around until I can't go around anymore. Now, you don't want to double up on the wire because then it's going to look almost like a cone effect. When I say I'm going to go until I can't go anymore, what I'm doing is I'm going until I reach the stone. So you can see, let me put this on the back of my hand so you can see it. Is that helping? I hope it's helping. You can see I just went all the way to the stone and there is still a little piece that can be cut off. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay. So I'm going to take my cutters and I am cutting that piece off and giving it a nice good squeeze. And now let me grab it with those so I could show you. There you go. We have a wire wrapped stone. Now we're going to go to the assembly part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make a lariat. A lariat is really great, especially for people that are just starting out on making jewelry because it doesn't need a clasp or a closure. A lariat is worn by wrapping it around and then basically tying it around itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our chain and we're going to pick up a jump ring. Now, jump rings can come in a few ways. So jump rings are either soldered shut or they come as an open jump ring. What we're going to use are open jump rings. For creating lariat, you're not going to need a closed jump ring unless you're using it as a focal point and you're hanging other stones off of it. So whenever you use jump rings, what you want to do is use 2 pliers, okay? And you're opening it. I'm opening one hand towards me, one hand away from me. You never want to open and close jump rings like this. This is a no-no. Do not do this. Okay, it will break your jewelry very quickly. So what you're going to do is you're going to open it, not a crazy amount, just enough to put your chain on one part. Okay, so I have my chain on my jump ring. Now I'm going to take that pretty stone that we just wire wrapped. Okay, so now I have the stone and the chain on the jump ring. I'm going to bring back my other set of pliers. And I am going to close it. Okay, so now this is tightly secured onto the chain. The other reason why you want to be using your flathead pliers right now and not your needle nose when you're using jump rings is because your needle nose will leave a little groove in your jump ring and you're just gonna have to polish it out later. No point in doing that, just use flathead pliers. And now I am going to put on the other side of this, I'm actually gonna use one of my pendants from my signature collection, which is this sterling silver heart made of seahorses. So you could put other stones on the other end if you want. Another great thing to do is if you have, everyone has like old jewelry that they never want to wear again for some reason or another, but there's like something of it they like, cut up your old jewelry. And that's how I got started making jewelry actually before I learned to be a metalsmith. Just cut up your old pieces, then you have a bunch of findings to work with. So you could take a little piece of something else and then put it on your brand new lariat. So I have my pendant, I have my chain on the other end, I have my two flatheads. So I'm going to take a jump ring again. Ah, here it is. Okay. Taking a jump ring. Okay. And I'm going to open it. So you can see that it's open now. I'm going to pass, there's a hole in this. So I'm going to pass the jump ring through it first. Okay. And then I'm going to pass, and I'll hold this up a little bit higher so you can see, the chain through it. I'm going to bring back my other pliers and I'm going to close it. And the other thing that I meant to mention before, when you close your jump ring, it needs to be as flush as possible. You don't want any chance of anything opening up or closing. And you, just like the wire, your jump rings actually come in different gauges and sizes. You want to use the thickest size gauge that comfortably fits through your piece for stability. If you use too thin of a gauge, something will easily come apart. Okay, so now we have, when you have a lariat, remember it does not need a closure. Here you go. You have basically a chain with two things on the end, okay? So you're going to put it behind you. Let me get rid of this hair and I'm going to stand up so you can see better. And what you're going to do is you're going to intertwine it. So I'm going to crisscross them and then I'm going to toss this over. And I'm going to put this necklace tucked away so you can see better. And there you go. You have a really pretty necklace. It will not budge. If you are paranoid that it's going to get undone, just turn it around again. And then you can mess with the length on it. You know, just shimmy it. Now I have the chain, the stone all the way at the top, and then the pendant hanging down. Okay. Okay, so there it is. You just made a pretty lariat. Let me know if anyone has any questions.